Howdy all. Trying something a little different here in preparation for the Mythic Invitational. We're doing a standard league, traditional standard, best of 3, and we're playing a Prismari Is It aggro deck. I've played variants of this in standard. Well, I hate standard. I hate everything, but standard is one of the things I particularly hate at the moment. And one of the reasons why is all the decks are so boring to play, but I enjoyed playing my Goldspan Dragon deck, and this just seems like a better version. So we have decent removal suite for expressive iterations, which is what excites me about the deck. Some counters, Brazen Borrower, some dragons, some big spells, and then a sideboard, counters, removal, and the Acroan War for some reason. Let's see how it goes. So I'm in the Mythic Invitational next week, which is best of 3 standard. And my best of 3 standard in recent years has been non-existent, so I'm just looking for the practice, and I don't want to play rogues or we got Yorion. So this seems like a decent hedge. I tried some black-red decks, didn't like them. I tried the Looker Vedamakis deck, and that didn't really work for me, although it worked against me a couple of times where I tried it, but Prismari aggro is kind of where I want to be. I enjoy decks like this. Okay, so we've got a keeper hand, I think. Obviously mute the opponent first in case they say anything. I don't want to hear that. So a little bit of everything in this hand. Bit of reaction, bit of aggro. Guess we just need an expressive iteration and then we're off to the races. So I'll try and take you through my thought process because it might be more interesting, because I'm not a particularly renowned standard player by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I'm quite poor at it, I'd say. And I have no idea what opponent's on. I do know that the Titan's Nest deck is particularly, well, I wouldn't say prominent at the moment, but I've seen a lot of talk about it. And I was kind of thinking of playing that one, but this one just slightly won my vote when I went to see it on Magic, on MTG Goldfish, what was up there at the moment with current decks people are playing. Anyway, is this the Jun Sack deck? We'll see. I think with this we can just go Frostbite and then leave up Bone Crusher, saw it coming. Obviously I want to kill the Worst Rider before anything else. Having played a sack deck myself, it's probably the most, well, it's any free sacrifice effects are vital cogs. I'll probably end up getting the O1 here as well if nothing else happens. Maybe making a treasure with Magma Opus. We'll see. The thing is with Goldspan Dragon is those treasures very quickly turn into something good. Okay, we'll just counter that. Lizette, Dean's Root. I've not seen this deck before. Lands a good draw here. The best draw, in fact. Okay. I think I'm just going to Bone Crusher the O1 here. No, I'm not. I would have. Yeah, land's great here. So we can do the old Goldspan trick. Let's take a blue. And now we just need to untap and we'll be able to cast Magma Opus. Now we can discard it for treasure value here. Banner. So a common denominator here, or common theme even, would be I don't really know what's going on. My opponent's playing some cards, emergent sequence, sure. I don't necessarily want to Bone Crusher Giant that straight away. Simply because this way we can definitely resolve Magma Opus. So he's got a Swamp. And I presume we're going to attack and pass and cast Magma Opus on upkeep. Change of plan. We're going to win the game. Okay, so I guess on his step we're going to 2-1-1. Just make sure I get the treasure back from Goldspin Dragon. And I mean, this game was over ages ago, but now it's even more over. So what are we going to sideboard here? I think our removal suite stays. There's no need for a Crowan War, I wouldn't have thought. Opponent casts a Woast Rider. Sure. Looks like it could. I don't know the deck. Could be some sort of breweries trying to maximize Lizette or the other Dean. I simply don't know. I think probably want the Prismari command. The DO2 is pretty good here. Not so sure we need the Mystical Disputes, especially with 3 Sorrow Comings. Does Disdainful Stroke look important? Nope. That works for me. Run it back, Scotty. Good opponents. Opponent's a fan of the no sideboard life, which is generally not where you want to be, but it is where you want to be when you're playing at 7 in the morning. I did the Arena Day 2 yesterday, and I watched LSV and Marshall and Newmott and all these players make the money. And then I opened a pile of poop and was satisfied going 1-2. It was above expectation, I think. It was gutting though, as I managed to 7-0 day 1. I know that there's no real correlation because the standard players are just so different, but if I'd have had that pool today, yesterday even. This sounds quite bad. I'm going to toss this one. Like 3 Goldspan Dragon is basically a big mulligan already. I think I can afford to toss a land here. So we want to go blue. Yeah, I'll just go to Fabled Passage. I mean, I'm very bad at mulliganing in the first place. I hate mulliganing, but like, I think 3 Goldspan Dragon is the height of an unplayable hand, let's be honest. The game is pretty close to being over if you manage to resolve 1 most of the time. Bone Crusher is a fantastic draw there. Most likely going to run out of Bone Crusher next turn. We could bounce something with the Brazy Bee. It's my first time playing standard with the Galazeth Prismari. The last Prismari aggro deck I had 4 Prismari commands, had the ward guy, the 4 mana 2/2 ward 2, and then you get extra +1/+1 counters based on the casting cost of the card you're exiling. That card was really good because people didn't seem to be able to read it, so it pretty much read ward, it pretty much read hexproof half the time. So opponent's got his ramp on. He looks to be green-black sack, probably life game with the root, the Dean of the Root. Yep. So we're just going to get our Brazy on here. I don't know why I said that, because what I meant was Bone Crusher Giant into Brazy B, and then the job's a good one. Again, I don't know why I said that. I'm tired. It's early. We're almost certainly going to play the Galazeth Prismari next turn. I can't wait until the Throne of Eldraine cards come out standard. I mean, I play most decks with Bone Crusher Giant and Brazen Borrower, but my god, they're painful to play against. Okay, let's just attack for 4. The whole thing of, oh, it's got 2 toughness. I guess that dies to Bone Crusher Giant. His opponent probably Village Rites here. No? Okay. I'm still just going to run out the Galazeth here. We net a treasure from the deal. When you've got an 8 mana spell in hand, that's not too bad. Thin in my deck first. Adventurous Impulse, righto. Ah, Pelucranos. That guy's good. But we can somewhat wreck his by just leaving the bounce up here. Can we? I should have played this last turn, shouldn't I? There we go. Well, this is why we're learning. I don't think we can. We can spend it. He just fight, bounce, fight. So we get him for 3. He plays Pelucranos. We bounce. Sorry, we get him for 3. He fights. We bounce. He fights again. Yeah, I don't think that's particularly good for me. Again, a little more damage this way anyway. He needs 1 more mana to Pelucranos fight in the same turn. Yeah, that worked out very well for me. Might be able to just sneak through the win here. Well, I don't know. Say if he's got Heartless Act or anything here, he just so he goes down to 12. Ooh, well, that's a draw and a half. Let's do that before anything. Actually, that's not bad here. There's no reason to not take the tap land, I guess. Get out the deck. And there's no reason to do anything here. We can use the Frostbite here to save one of our flyers from the Pelucranos. Okay, that's not too bad for me, is it? So we lose. I mean, not that I can do anything. So we get him down to 6. And then we just Magma Opus and tap his creatures. Maybe tap his block. Tap his lands, I don't know. No, I'd be tapping his creatures, surely. And hope to draw something. Yeah, we need to tap his creatures here, I think. Yeah, otherwise we're dead on board, right? Yeah. Well, sorry, what am I thinking? I'll let him do some stuff here and go to combat, as opposed to tapping and upkeep. This is a very brewy deck from our opponent. But I presume we're just going to get there now. So the plan, of course, to probably do 4 to the face, tap down 2 creatures. I presume Pelucrinus will eat the Galazeth. He'll play a blocker from this and we'll frostbite it. And we should be able to just get in at the life total of 6 for lethal. Yeah, if he taps that here, he's dead. I think he's dead anyway, though. So we want to do 4 to the face. I think that makes more sense. No, we'll do 3 and 1. No, we do want to do 4 to the face. It means Bone Crusher's lethal. And we have, I wouldn't do 4 to the face if I didn't have the Frostbite in hand. But we're going to draw 3 cards here. I presume that's going to be enough to get there. But we shall see. It's nice to do something different, isn't it? I'm just thinking, considering, weighing up his options. I'm disconnecting. Good old Arena. So we can fight Galazeth and go die. He's just uber dead here, isn't he? So we're at 1-0. I'd quite like to face some meta decks. As much as I like winning more in draft and standard. I don't really enjoy it as much, although I'm trying to get there. So I'd rather get the experience of playing against the better decks with mine and see what it is I need to change and whether or not this is a deck that I can play. But hey, we're 1-0. I think I read somewhere that this card, Magma Opus, is bugged in so far that on Arena that you can't target something for damage and tap, because then you just disconnect, which is indicative of quality coding. Against Minch. I know someone called Minch. Maybe it's him. He doesn't play Magic. Maybe that's just what he wants me to think. Come on, Minchy. Minchy Mulligan. Ooh, it's also a bad hand, but I guess we can't go to 5 here. I guess we traded a land for a Magma Opus. want to keep the passage. Hello and mute. Can't stand people. Oh, that's good. So I don't necessarily want to throw away my magma opus. I'm definitely not casting iteration on 2. I'm probably going to fabled passage here just in case I hit frostbite off iteration. Huh. Yeah, I'm definitely going to fable passage now. Probably getting a red land. Yeah, expressive iteration makes this deck a lot better. The version I played without this was, I don't know, it felt like it was lacking draw. It didn't have any beholds. It didn't have any card rush. I think about it anyway. Let's get the iteration out. Cool. So we want Brazy in the hand. Fabled in the library. Oh, piss it! I can never, ever, 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 ever play that card correctly because I always press it in the wrong order. It's always, in my mind, it's land, hand, land, exile, grave. Anyway, we just threw away a land for no good reason. But listen, this is what we're here for. We're here to make a game better. I could play perfect now, win every game, and everybody, oh, you won again, Greg. Oh, yes, I have. I'm here to give people a chance by throwing away cards. It's early. It's early in the morning. Listen, still worked out, didn't it? What's your problem? Throwing away a land? I don't mind that one bit. Good, good. I think I'm going to run out the Brazen Borrower here to eat up the Rankle, because obviously I'm getting in with my boy Goldspan. Not so much to block Rankle, but to eat up the sacrifice trigger. I presume our 4/4 is going to get a Crone Ward here, though. My opponent's done nothing for a long turn. He's black-red with sacrifice cards. Don't take a genius, okay? It's a Brazen Borrower, and has he got Rankle as well? I guess I could have played around that. No, he doesn't. We'll just have the Village Rites. Mm-hmm. And the Crone War. Yep, no surprise there. Well, I can't just not cast my spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yep. Let's just keep this in hand. I think this is one that will get a lot better after sideboarding. Well, actually, I don't know. I think this might be a bad matchup looking at it. We have counter spells, but counter spells are not that great against Claim the Firstborn. They're better against the Crone War, but still they're lacking something. I've played with this variety of deck a lot, and I feel this is quite a good matchup. But we shall see. Obviously, the better play would have been to A, get the land, and B, keep the Brazen Borrower in hand. Although my logic did make sense. I suppose I could have just bounced Rankle. Oh no, I already bounced Rankle. Never mind. Okay. Not really sure why he's done that. Is he storming? That's an odd set of plays. Especially to use the land, the treasure to do it. But hey ho, I'm in no position to judge anyone's play in standard. Let me tell you that. Don't tap 3 mana to cast a Bone Crusher Giant. I'd really like if he taps 3 and cast the other one. Wait till he tap the land. Sure. I'm going to save this for the Woe Rider. We're tapping them down, I guess. Yeah. Yep. So 4-1. Actually, no, 4-1. Tap the other puts me to 9, which is a worrying total. You gotta do what you gotta do. So 3-1. Yes, 2 permanents will be this and this. At least the spell's not going to fizzle. So assuming he village rights this, he'll go to 11, 10. We can attack for 4. Village rights. Sorry, Bone Crusher puts him to, well, theoretically close to dead if we manage to draw a gold span. But we have a lot of good draws here. Expressive Iteration is probably the worst draw, as I don't know how to play it. But everything else is probably pretty good. Plumb the Forbidden, maybe? He's Heartless, I think it's not going to work. Yeah, that's why I did damage to the face, just to make sure it didn't fizzle. I don't think opponent realised that. Well, this again isn't particularly indicative of the standard games I'll be playing. The opponent just threw away 4 cards. At least when I only threw away 1 card. Good work. Imagine throwing away cards in standard. Okay, so he's claiming, sacking, and claiming. What do we have to do with it? Is there anything else going on, or is it just a standard suite? No, I don't think we're particularly well set. I get Test of Talents is probably quite good here. Disdainful Stroke gets the Acroan War and Rankle. That's probably better than, probably worth having in. Prismari Command, no, we don't need the Ox. I don't think we want the Acroan War ourselves. Probably keep the Dispute. Yeah, I probably will keep the Disputes in. Just hate playing them against a non-blue deck. So maybe I won't. Red Cap melee. I know he's got Bone Crushers, but that's such a small percentage of his deck. I think we can go in one of them. Maybe not. The 4 Frostbite is effectively a better Red Cap melee. Do we need the Soul Seer? Again, not really. Just 2 cards to cut. I guess we'll cut 2 Bone Crushers. Weird as that sounds. Maybe it's the mystical disputes. Yeah. We'll just be a bit more selective. We'll cut 1 Bone Crusher for a, I don't know, souls, maybe an Ox. Yeah. I know this isn't the game for Ox, but I just want to limit the amount of Claim the Firstborn targets I offer our opponent. So, did anyone else play the Open? Leave it in the comments. I played with my good friend Davy. He had a good deck. Not a great deck, but we went 4-0 with him, and then we were a game up, and looked to be getting the second game. Then quite a series of relatively unfortunate events happened, and alas, we didn't win the second game. And then we lost to Blot Out the Sky on turn 6 twice in the 5-win game. But yeah, at least it was a bit of a sweat. The one I had, the pool I had, if you've seen it, you'll probably tell me, oh, no, it was fine. You just should have played this deck, which is perfectly possible as I suck at sealed. But it didn't feel too powerful, to be brutally honest with you, my friends. Anyway, Minch is back. And let's see what transpires here. I'm not sure we'll play all 5 games. That's potentially 7 games, isn't it? It's a long video, 7 games, best of 3 sideboards. Maybe we'll do 3. Yeah, 3 sounds like a good number. It's enough for a look at things without spending all of our day watching the same deck in standard. Even though I guess that's what the whole point of practicing is. I would love to mulligan my opponent, as he takes a very, very long time to do anything. I'd also love to get some sleep. I only got 4 hours last night. It's taking its toll. That's why I play Expressive Iteration badly. Nothing to do with anything else. Oh my god, here we go. No, this hand's got no coloured mana. This hand's even worse. This hand's all lands. Right. Well, I guess we keep a 5-lander. Opponent is annoying me to shit. I would just concede here just to get it over and done with. Because I know I'm going to lose and I'd just like to get to the 3rd game. But, you know, we're doing a video. We'll see if we can bring it back. I won't concede in a normal match. I'm trying very hard to thin the deck here, and I'm struggling. I had 2 mulls to 5 in the open yesterday, and it hurt. And like this one, they were bad 5s. One wasn't. One was Quandrix Apprentice, green, blue, black. Another spell, which got humiliated, and then we never cast a spell. I know we did, they just didn't do anything. Not that I'm bitter. Punished. Very much punished. I should have got the blue. So I'm starting to think that Disdainful Stroke was a terrible sideboard card. Never mind. I'm a genius. That's only a one-off anyway. Obviously it's not for this matchup, but like I say, this matchup isn't particularly good for us. We should have lost the last game, but opponent completely misplayed into Oblivion and managed to throw it. Oh, sure, discard a card, buddy, yeah. Have you seen my hand? Oh, fuck me. Well, I need to misplay this one. Because I can't. I obviously have to leave up Saw It Coming. Not that it matters too much here. We're pretty much dead on where we are. Effectively dead on ball. We need to draw. We need to play Prismari and draw a Frostbite. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We do not need to draw a second Prismari Dragon. Okay, well that was a mull to 5 with no cards, with 5 lands. Like, I guess that went how we expected it to. Let's wait 4 minutes for our good friend Minch to sideboard and send some emoticons. I try not to let that stuff annoy me. One thing I did notice about the Open was that the class of player was so much better. I don't just mean ability, I mean like, I like playing good players because good players, with some notable exceptions, are usually magnanimous. I'm sometimes magnanimous, but I'm not a good player. But the good game concede is something I'm a big fan of. Whenever I'm playing someone I respect or playing someone who's had a good game with, I'll try and good game concede. What I dislike about Magic is the good game. You'll go. I wouldn't say triggers me as such, I just think it's a bit of a dick move, for want of a better word. Because it makes me, this is why I mute everyone, because I immediately think, oh, what have you got? Like no one good game concedes anymore. In the lower echelons, it's always good game, pause, how can I get an advantage here? And in fact, most of the time I get good gamed, it usually is my opponent's either got the win on board or has a tricky way of winning if I play wrong. And if the opponent's seen any of my videos, they will know I do not need any inducement or assistance to play wrong. This opponent, however, is just a plain dick for taking 100 seconds to sideboard when we didn't see a card and we've already sideboarded. I hear some people saying, well, maybe he's got stuff to do. Disrespectful. I've got stuff to do, but I'm here, aren't I? You're suffering through this. Let's try and make him suffer. Hooray, we have a 7. Oh, must be hard. Oh yeah, mute. Oh, wait, you'll go. Listen, I said I'm magnanimous. I didn't say I wasn't petty. So very likely to Alrund's Epiphany on turn 2 unless there's something crazy goes down. Really don't mind drawing lands here. Croxa, no problemo. I think I want to get rid of the land. I might just want to get rid of, I don't want to get rid of Frostbite. Yeah, has to be the land. I really don't want to run out of Brazen Borrow here. It turns on most of his cards. The Chrome Ward does as well, but at least I get a, as in Galazeth into a Chrome Ward, but at least I get a card out of that. By card I mean treasure. So depending on what he does, if he makes me discard something else, I might toss Frostbite here because we're going to be able to Prismari into block Rankle. No problem. I think I would rather, I don't know, playing Prismari and drawing a lad, it's just going to die to Heartless Act, I suspect, so I'd rather just suspend here. And it looks very much like I've got Saw It Comings. I'd like to be able to Prismari into Brazen Borrow the same turn. And I'll probably discard a Frostbite if I get Cruxed here. Guess we play a red source and now we can get down Galazeth Prismari. I know that he's going to be able to do something here, but we actually have the Brazen Borrow to save it if it gets a Crone Ward. I mean, it's going to get hardest acted, but... Ooh. Okay. 2 brazy bees. No problem. We net the card out of the deal. Now we're going to be in a great position because we're about to time walk twice. Provided we can draw a land. Well, if he's got village rights, I'd rather he use it on this than on my creature. Yeah, it seemed that he did because there was a pause, but like I say, I mean, I'm not going to cast my spells all game. There's a card. I must prefer getting that down here. Because now the Crowan War isn't too much of a problem. And now we can definitely go time walk, time walk. But it's been confirmed, I think, playing this game that this is a bad matchup for the deck. Our opponent should have won game 1. We played like shit. I cast a spell. In response to your spell, I kill all my creatures. Okay. Spell resolves. That was enjoyable. But we should be dead. Woe Strider, okay. This might work out well for me. So he's probably got the Achrome War in hand and he's planning his heist. But if he does nothing else here, he's just lost the game. Nope, he had hardest act. That's good enough for him. Yep, sure. Just trying to work out when I can cast Expressive Iteration. We definitely want to get the time walk off this turn. Probably the iteration next turn. Because then we can hit a land, use a treasure. Does this change things? So we cast this. Oh god, yeah, sorry, of course it changed things, I can't count. Yeah, that's just game. It's not just game, but it basically is. Oh, do you want to say your go now, buddy? Okay, so let's Expressive Iteration. We can't Bone Crush him to the face here. We can if we get it in hand, I suppose. So 1 in hand, library, exile. I'd rather not saw it coming here. I'd rather keep it suspended. There's no reason to alert him to it. It'll cost a treasure to use either way. That should be that, I think. Like a Crone War doesn't win it here. So I don't need to counter that. Yeah, I can't really think what he could do here. But I mean, this guy's unpredictable. He killed all his creatures to just teach me a lesson. Maybe Cruxer into claim the firstborn? Yeah, Cruxer into claim the firstborn theoretically works if I've got just lands in hand. I don't. Yeah, that's probably his best out here. Rancor doesn't do it. I'll just counter the Cruxer if that's the case, because then he can't win with 2 mana. Ooh. Yeah, good idea to play that one tapped. Breath Shield Breaker. No problemo. Fair enough. Interesting to bring in the Shield Breaker there. Not traditionally good against treasures. Game 3. I thought that, yeah, as I said, we should have lost that one. We should definitely have lost that one. So in terms of whether this deck's the one I want to play next week, we have no basis so far. We played against someone with some sort of brew, and we played against someone who misplayed. I'm presuming the players next week will be better and won't misplay. Well, I mean, I'm playing and I'll misplay, so maybe that's not true, but you know what I mean. Anyway, oh my god. Let's get rid of Opus and, I don't know, probably Mystical Dispute. Our multi-5 game is strong at the moment. Yeah, wish I kept Mystical Dispute obv. Maybe I should have kept it over the Prismari, but I just want something to do. Watcher of the Spires, Righty Odal. Yeah, as annoying as that is. We got to kill it. I tell you what, these expressive iterations are hurting us. Sorry, these Faceless Havens, early in the morning, are hurting us. Yeah, if this was any coloured source, we'd be right back in this. As it is, Wim up against it. Okay, so white blue flyer is interesting. Staggering Insight. Excuse me. We just have to leave up Saw It Coming. As annoying as it is, we can't expressive iteration here. It's just a waste of a turn. And we just counter anything he plays, obviously. So far he's up 4 cards on us, which is slightly unfortunate. And he's presumably got a couple of counters in hand. Bone Crusher in hand. library. See, I can do it. And then if he goes for the flyer this turn, we'll just Bone Crusher it. Nope. Still 4 cards because we got one back from the iteration, so you know we're well in this. At least the opponent seems to know what he's doing, which is helpful to play against. It's a bit more realistic. Frostbite's probably worth doing here. But if it gets countered, what do I do? I suppose counter back. It's either Frostbite or Galazeth, obviously. The alternative is iteration into hitting a red source, which might actually be the play because I don't think I can win this game without somehow getting level on cards at some point. I still saw it coming. Okay, I've taught myself into it. It kind of worked. Let's... Right, yeah. Do nothing. Brazen Borrower. Cool. Oh, we actually killed it. So I guess Galazeth into Bone Crusher is as good as it's going to get here. Does he have another Staggering Insight? If so, I'll be surprised. Yeah, Baneslayer is good. I think I just want to exile Epiphany here. I don't think the Bone Crusher works for me. This is my best chance of winning here is Alrund's Epiphany into Magma Opus. I really can't see myself winning without that. I just can't see myself winning with that, but that's an entirely different matter. I'd be relatively happy if he managed to kill my Galazeth here, because it would be tapping down some of his lovely manas. I have no idea what he has. You can worry too much about these things. Block first, ask questions later. That is my mantra. Right. So we had nothing. Just threw away a card. Okay. I'm starting to regret entering this tournament. Okay. I think I'm going to try and draw the counter here. I always think it's more important that Magma Opus resolves than Alrund's Epiphany. So if he doesn't counter this, I'll just Aaron's Epiphany here. Lofty Denial, okay. I'm going to attack because... Oh, maybe not. That means I'm dead to Brazen Borrower, but at the same time, I don't want to be sitting here all day. If he does have Brazen Borrower, oh, he's Fairy Vandal. I'm dead to Fairy Vandal as well. Okay, well that was quite a clear and obvious misplay. That was mainly because I was bored, but no excuse for that. So the Soul Seer is definitely coming in. Disputes are in. I don't think we want Disdainful Stroke. 2 damage is probably enough to bring this in. There's no artifacts, right? Maybe not. We definitely want the Frostbites. We probably don't want all these big things against a lot of counters. Like Test of Talents for sure, because I presume there'll be a lot of counters on his side. Enough. Let's go down 1 dragon, probably an Epiphany, and yeah, maybe a Brazen Borrower. I don't really want to bounce his things with great vigor. I think that works for me. We can't cut all our win cons for obvious reasons, but we can certainly trim the sweet. Anyway, let's try and have a 7. Woo, we got a 7. 7. Let's just get the Fabled Passage down now. I'll only misplay it if I wait. But this is a good opener. I'm just going to suspend Epiphany. If he plays a flyer next turn, which he has every chance of doing, I regret it. But yeah, there's also the chance he plays... Well, there's also the chance he does this and just leaves up a flyer. As in Fairy Vandal. Faithless Haven again costing us something to think about if we do go with this deck next time. Ardenfell Tactician, I do like that. So I'm going to let that resolve. I'm just going to brazy it. Yeah, that's not exactly what I want to draw, but it's a good draw. Oh, not bad, not bad. So I guess we want this in hand, this in the library, and we want this exiled. And we're going to want that for, well, we're going to see what he plays. But a little bit painful having to, or giving him the chance to resolve something, I guess. But if he just plays Tactician again, we'll just slam this all. This could work out nicely for us. I think we're probably going to want to play the Mystical Dispute here. Basically, I want to get something countered. I'm going to go for the Frostbite instead. I want Frostbite to get countered here, then I'm in a great position. Brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted. That's a good draw in Frostbite. And we probably just let... No, you know what? I just don't want him to draw the cards. I think the... Obviously I miss out on the Mystical Dispute chance here, but the scenario where he goes 2-drop flyer... Sorry, where he goes Staggering Insight, untap, play again. Untap... Sorry, Staggering Insight, counter is really bad for me there. Watcher of the Spheres, no problemo. Ooh, this game's probably close to over. I think I'm going to play the pathway first, though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because then I can Magma Opus in response. Yeah, and we want a bit of blue for sure. But I definitely just let it happen if it gets tapped down here. Yeah, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And that'll be the game. Of that, you can be quite sure. Especially if we draw that. Yep, that one went very differently. So on the draw is going to be a lot harder. This is our deciding match. Will we go 3-0 in this 3-0 league? Might not be a 3-0 league, but I think you'll appreciate not seeing all 5 games. I certainly would. So if we want to do anything differently, he played 3 spells. Interesting, he's probably boarded in the Tacticians. Makes me... Well, I kind of want to get rid of my creatures, but it's not the greatest plan ever, is it? I don't think I want to do anything differently here. Disdainful Strix, still not where I want to be. Yeah, this works for me. What I do want to do is take out these Faceless Havens and just play Snowlands. I don't think we need, as in Snow Basics, I do not think we need the extra damage. Maybe I'll play one of them. But if I do this deck again, I'll take out 2 of the Faceless Havens. Maybe it's just results-oriented thinking. I'll also put in loads more lands. I can't seem to ever hit any. On the upside, we get an easy mulligan decision. I'd rather just leave a Bone Crusher and a Mystical Dispute on turn 2. If he plays something here, we'll just Bone Crusher it. Yeah. I have no idea what that card is. Spells your opponent cost that targets creature. Ah. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I think I've got to go for this here. Seems too weak not to. Okay. Well, we got what we wanted. I guess we can actually take the Faceless Haven here for once. I'll dispute. If we dispute Staggering Insight, it gets countered by Lofty Denial, but we're still going for it. Yep. Looks like the play worked. On the upside though, how much do I know about Standard?
guess we just go for this while he's tapped out. Do we? How does he deal with a Prismari? A Galazeth Prismari? Maybe he bounces it? I kind of think we should go for the Galazeth Prismari while we have the chance here. This could be greedy. This could be a horrendous play. I've obviously not played this matchup much. Oh, he's got a second staggering insight. Right, I see. So last turn, I did think, I was going to call it, but I did think, is he debating over Lofty Denial and a second staggering insight? But I'm also wrong, so there we go. Interesting, interesting. I think we probably want to just Goldspan Dragon and attack here. Yes, we do. If it eats a Lofty Denial, that's fine by me. Okay, so he hasn't got Lofty Denial. There's no reason he wouldn't counter that. And we can, well, if he hasn't got Lofty Denial, then I'm quite happy going for the Frostbite here. It's not that we've got anything else to spend our mana on. Should have played Faceless Haven, that was a huge mistake. Huge mistake, huge. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we've learned that much from these standard games, I must be honest. We've learned that opponents sometimes play poorly. But you know what? That's all I need to know. And we've gone 3-0. 3-0 in a standard league. So first standard league on this channel for a long time. I'll tell you what, if there's any consensus to see the rest, just let me know in the comments. I'll finish it off. I'll just probably leave it till then. But I quite enjoyed that. It's a nice start to the day, not doing limited. Getting something different other than the... Excuse me. Other than the Arena Open in my mind. Still bitter. Who opened 2 Mascot Exhibition? Oh dear, oh dear. But you know what? I enjoyed that. Deck. In terms of the deck, I think I'd cut 2 Faceless Havens for sure. 4 Expressive Iterations seems a bit much. I'd probably cut one of them as well. I don't know what for, but I'll have a look at a few different lists. I'm sure other people have made similar cuts to mine based on my experience with it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more standard videos, let me know in the comments. And yeah, hope you're enjoying the videos, the splunge of videos. It's nice to make videos. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time, tomorrow at 5.